Well, hello there, Steeler Nation. Flip Fisher, part time YouTuber, part time freelance writer, full time, a guy that's just having a lot of fun. And one of my most fun subjects I enjoy talking about is, of course, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And with the things that I enjoy most talking about the Steelers and the NFL is outside of a lot of the mainstream stuff. And getting into the real guts, the real intricacies of the NFL. Yeah, my golly, anybody can talk about Big Ben. But who knows about voidable years? Who's going to sit and kind of do some explaining about voidable contracts? Well, that's the kind of stuff I love to sink my teeth into and to dig into it and to learn and then to teach in some layman's terms. I mean, geez, you could read the CBA about voidable contract, but my gosh, if you can actually figure out the CBA, you got me beat right there. So that's what I'm going to go over is some of the voidable year contracts that the Steelers came out of the Stone Ages and signed out of absolute, complete, and sheer desperation this week because of our salary cap issues. Now, people will say, oh my gosh, the Steelers don't have salary cap issues. They got 2.2 million. Well, that's kind of for another show. But let me tell you, our draft class is going to cost 1.8 million with displacement. So, just going to leave that hanging there. Be on the lookout for that. So be sure to subscribe and be sure to ring that bell to get notified when I put up new content. Okay, so enough of that. Let's get into what are voidable years. Let me show you a great example before we talk about the Steelers. Let me show you a voidable contract. This is Drew Brees. Well, over the cap does a fantastic job of keeping track of players' contracts. But Drew Brees retired a week and a half, 2 weeks ago? So why is his full contract still here? Well, that's actually an excellent question. It's because he is not officially retired yet. There's a big difference between announcing your retirement and actually filing your retirement papers. Now, why did he not file his retirement papers? Well, he's helping out the bigger cap purgatory New Orleans Saints. What he is basically doing is he's getting this amount this year. So he's getting his $1 million base salary and his $11 million, and that's to remain on the roster until June 1st, where then he will actually retire. And this $5.75 million, that will actually accelerate into 2022. So he will carry that 11.5 million right there. Now, why do I really bring that up? Because this is going to happen with the Steelers. And I'm going to show you another example really quick from New Orleans. Now, what happens here is they signed a 5-year extension on 2022 with Taysom Hill. Now, when whoever it was broke that contract, with whether it was, I don't remember who broke it, But they were just glory hunting, calling it a $140 million contract, which everybody who understands like the cap situation and so forth, basically said, that's just a lie. He's just grabbing headlines. And it was. It was absolutely a lie. Because those 4 years are never going to be seen, ever. And what's going to happen with this $10 million here is that's either going to get shoved into 2022 or it's going to be kind of split between 2022 and 20. Why do I bring this up? Seriously, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen with Big Ben. Absolutely what's going to happen. Big Ben's going to see 2021. And all this money, all this prorated signing bonus, that is guaranteed. And once my assumption is, or I really do hope, that the Steelers do the same as they do with Brees, as the Saints did with Brees, is hopefully they will do a June 1st designation. Either he retires June 1st or they actually cut him. Not sure how that's structured in his contract. I'm going to assume, since there is no void in February of 2022, that he's going to be a June 1st retirement. So what will happen next year? Well, that basically $2.6 million, that will go 2022. But then the rest of this, that $7.755 million, that's all going to come due in 2023. I'm not a big fan of paying dead money in future years. And you see where OTC has the $10.3 million for his cap number next year. That's technically right. But if he retires in June, then that's actually the 2.6. That's the actual real number. And then the 7.75, that's going to be the 2023 number. But you see, it's a 5-year deal. And that is the maximum amount of years prorated signing bonus can be pushed out, can be prorated out. Now we get into JuJu's contract here. And, I was shocked, along with everybody else, that JuJu came home. I'm going to save that for a different show. I'm going to say right now, I'm not a fan of it. I love JuJu. But I think we could have used that cap space elsewhere. And especially, look at this. He becomes a free agent when his contract voids next year. He doesn't see any of this. He sees all this money right now. At $5.6 million, and we got him on the cheap this year. Absolutely, I love it. If the cap would have been $210 million, I would have absolutely loved this contract. Beyond belief. If we would have, not 40 million holes on our offense and defense, I would love this. Okay, I'm not gonna beat on that all right now. Here's an interesting one. So Cam Sutton, who had all the earmarks of being our starting nickel corner, who now might be our starting right corner, he got a voided year contract too, and that's 3. And I just say, boy, there's the desperation out of Colbert and Kahn. Doing 3 deals. We've never done avoidable contract before. Now we're on 3. Oof. And I like Sutton. I've really warmed up to him over the years. This isn't so bad. I assume with this deal that he does play in 2022. It's not a big contract for 2022 unless he's cut. Then that 2.1 million moves up. And then it changes quite a bit. What would happen if, let's say, we give him an extension and these voidable years turn into real years? That's those 700,000 stay right there. They don't move. Now, I have not seen it where I would assume. Okay, let's say he plays very well this year, and they give him a 3-year contract. I don't think they would do that. I think they would just make it a 4-year contract, just to extend it out. I don't think they would contract one of those voidable years. I don't think you can contract one of those voidable years. Boy, I'm just not positive. I have not seen OTC post on that, and I have not seen anybody else. And I have not read the CBA on that either. Oof, that's not going to. So there you go. There is, kind of in a nutshell. The biggest thing you got to remember that these voidable years are fake, and that prorated signing bonus is real. That money is going to come due either in 2022 or 2023 for Big Ben and JuJu, and for anybody else that they do this with. I hope they don't do this with Tuitt. I'll tell you that. The Steelers are now slamming dead money into future years. I think that's very unwise. People can say we're sitting on 113 million next year. But we're already approaching 15 million in dead money next year. That might be included in that is not included in that. That 113 million is going to go fast. So there you go, Steeler Nation. Hopefully that cleared up a little bit of your confusion on voidable years and voidable money. Yeah, I understand that the CBA is complicated, and especially when the Steelers come out of the Stone Ages and start doing contracts like other teams. I'm not a fan of doing these voidable years. That's how the Eagles and New Orleans got into trouble in the first place. The Cowboys got into the same jam many years ago and really had a tough time pulling themselves out of cap purgatory as well. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I'm planning on doing a more in-depth podcast of where we're sitting salary cap wise, breaking down some of the off-season stuff that we've done. I'm chuckling because I see Chris Boswell as our 5th highest paid player next year, and that makes me cringe. So that being said, please give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Hey, I'm fine taking a thumbs down as well. I like the interaction either way. Be sure to subscribe because I do plan on getting more involved with YouTube. And I appreciate any feedback. Tell me I sucked. I'm all good with that. Just let me know in the comments. But be sure to ring that bell to get notified when I go live. Or put up more content. One of these days, I'm going to do a live show. I enjoy doing those. All right, all. Thanks. If not, let me know in the comments section. All right. Laters.